So the topic I chose for this project was Piaget's theory. Basically, I'm just going to go over the 4 stages of cognitive development that he came up with. Jean Piaget is a 20th century scholar. He created Piaget's theory, which is the 4 stages of cognitive development. These 4 stages span through birth, adolescence, and adulthood. Piaget is a very familiar face in the fields of cognitive development and developmental psychology. So what is cognitive development? Cognitive development is a thought process which includes things such as problem solving, remembering, and decision making, which stretches from childhood all the way through adulthood. Jean Piaget created the 4 stages of cognitive development. These span from birth all the way to adulthood. The first stage is the sensory motor stage, and this is from birth to the age of 2. The second stage is the pre-operational stage, and this is from age 2 to around age 7. The concrete operational stage from age 7 to about 11, and then the last stage that he created is the formal operation stage, which begins in adolescence and continues throughout adulthood. So the first stage that Piaget created in his 4 stages of cognitive development is the sensory motor stage, and like I said, this is from birth to about the age of 2. The sensory motor stage is an immense period of growth and developmental change. During this stage, infants begin to gain knowledge through sensory experiences. At this stage, it is essential for children to learn and explore and develop their basic sensory and motor skills. I added some examples like water play, playing with Play-Doh, and using sensory bottles, which could have all sorts of things in them like glitter and colorful beads, just interesting stuff for the kids to look at. I do work at a daycare. I am lead teacher in the infant room, so we always make sure we do a lot of sensory play with our babies to get their sensory and motor skills working. So the next stage that Piaget came up with in his theory is the pre-operational stage. This stage begins at the age of 2 and expands until about the age of 7. This stage is when children begin to engage in play pretend and symbolic manipulation. This means that children are able to use different objects, for example, such as a bucket full of toys, as a representation of, say, a bowl of food. Children at this age also begin to use play pretend roles, such as a doctor or a dentist or a parental figure. So the next stage in Piaget's theory is the concrete operational stage, and this is from the age of 7 to about the age of 11. This is a stage where children begin to think more rationally and more logically, but children at this age also struggle with hypothetical thought processes. Another key development that children gain in this stage is conservation. This means that when something changes in an appearance or structure, it is still the same. For example, when you slice an apple into 4 slices or more, it's still the same amount when you once had it whole. And then the last stage that he came up with is the formal operation stage, and this is from adolescence all the way through adulthood. This stage is where the thought process becomes more advanced. Adolescents at this stage are able to think more theoretically, and children at this stage begin to acquire abstract concepts, which means they are able to contemplate consequences of their actions. Children also begin to gain deductive reasoning. This means that they develop the ability to determine general outcomes, for example, like in a mathematics class or a science class. And that is it. These are just some of the citations for the pictures and the information that I found. I hope I get some great feedback on this video, and I can't wait to watch everybody else's. Thanks.